Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Heroes of the Storm. Now on this one we're going to be reviewing the character Falstad. Now what we want to do is close this down. Right now they're having it where we can play several characters for free play during the alpha technical, so we're able to try them out, see if there's any bugs, whatnot. And you can see the ones that have numbers by them are all the characters I've played so far. And now they're like locked again, so you have to pay for them if you want to get these. But I believe every week they're going to be doing another set of enemy or another set of guys that we can play. And this happens to be the one we're doing right now. So we'll close that. And I'll show you the different skins you can get. Again, you start off with the basic. At level 10, you unlock the Master skin for 10,000 gold. You can go ahead and unlock that. And then these you have to pay for. Some of them have multiples, 3 or 4 that you can buy. This one only happens to have 1. Again, the variations of the colors you can always unlock as you level up the character. This hero can't use a mount. Certain characters are like that. There's not too many. I've only seen a handful of those that don't use mounts yet. They usually have some kind of flying ability or one that turns into a wolf or puts wings on, you know, something of a variation of that. So we're going to go ahead and look at the abilities. Now, every class always gets 4 abilities. This one is a ranged assassin. Difficulty is hard. Now, the difficulty, they may change later on because I really haven't seen a dramatic increase in difficulty for a lot of the classes that they say are hard or difficult or very hard. They really, in fact, it's kind of the opposite. Some of the classes I've seen that they say are very hard are incredibly easy to play compared to some of the classes they say are easy. So hopefully they will change that, or maybe they mean something different than I'm you know, looking at it as far as the way, the easiest way to play the character. So let's look at this. Hammering. Throw out a hammer that returns, hammers, slows, and damages enemies. Thunderstorm. Damage multiple nearby enemies. Passive. Periodically damage a random nearby enemy. Barrel roll. Dash to a location and gain a temporary shield. Tailwind. After not taking damage for a brief period, gain increased movement speed. So the longer you don't take damage, the more movement speed you're going to get. That'd be kind of nice if you're running from location to location. Heroic abilities, as you remember, you can only have 1 of these. You get to pick at level 10, and usually when you first start a character, you can only pick the top one. So this is Area Blitzkrieg. Deals damage and stuns surrounding enemies. Shock and Awe. Deal high damage in a very long line. Again, you won't be able to unlock that one until after you've played the character a few times and level them up. So you can pick talents at level 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 20, just like with every other character. And we'll go through each and every one of them. Conjures Pursuit. Every 3 regeneration globes gathered grants an extra 0.5 mana per second permanently. Now these are always great. They always give them to you at level 1 from what I've seen so far. Anything that gives it permanently. So it gives you the max amount of time to really take advantage of that. If you got it at, say, level 10, it really wouldn't be that good. But the fact that every single time you increase your mana per second, it's going to stay with your character all the way to the end of the level. So you can imagine towards like level 10 or 15 or 16, you are really not worrying about power at all if you've managed to gather quite a few orbs, you know, at your early stage. Dogfight. The barrel roll shield lasts for 3 seconds longer. Now that's kind of a nice little thing. If you barrel roll right into the middle of an enemy attack, you really want your shield to last as long as possible. I mean, you're going to be surrounded, and you're not going to be able to barrel roll your way out for a few seconds anyway. So if you can make this last long enough that you can barrel roll your way out without ever taking any hits, that would definitely be a significant little talent to have, to be able to go in and out of combat really quickly and do quite a bit of damage. Updraft. Increases the range of barrel roll by 20%. Again, that's great. You'll be able to get in and out of combat very quickly and do some damage. Seasoned Marksman. For every 6 enemy minions or mercenaries killed near your hero, gain 1 basic attack damage. Hero takedowns count as 2 minion kills. And Bribe. Bribe is something that we've seen on many other characters. Kill enemy minions to gain stacks of bribe. Use 20 stacks to bribe target mercenaries. Instantly defeating them does not work on golems. Golems are the boss creatures that are mercenaries. They're the hardest. You'll see the knights that are very hard and so forth and so on, all the way down to easy. The knights have 4 in a group. The easy ones, which are the little ogre type creatures, have 2. For every enemy that's in that group, you will have to use 20 stacks to bribe that target. So if you're thinking that, oh, I can just run into a camp and use 20 stacks and I get the entire camp, that's not the way it works. You're only using that on that one target. Now, to start with, you can only have one stack. You may be able to have talents in some of these other classes that I've played that allow you to have multiple stacks. So you can really go in there and just basically take over a hard mercenary camp all by yourself. But in the beginning, that's not that way. I mean, don't just go in assuming that, oh, I'll use this because, you know, it's going to make my guy Uber to be able to get all the mercenaries real easy. Vampiric Assault, this is the one that I always go with if they have it on the character. Basically, basic attacks heal for 15% of the damage dealt. So 15% of the damage I'm dealing to the enemy is coming back to me in my life. It's good for all characters. I don't care if you're a healer or whatnot. The fact that just your basic attack is giving you life. And since almost every character, there's only one that I've seen so far, and I should change that, he is a healer, but there's other healers that do attacking far more often, but he's a healer, and he just never attacked. His character sucked at attacking, and he took hits really, really poorly, so I just sat in the back and healed my group. So on something like that, I would not pick this, but for every other character, I should say, I would definitely pick this as the talent to go for. Stormhammer, basic attacks deal 50% more damage against a nearby target. Gathering Power, passively grants 8% ability power. Each hero takedown grants a bonus 2% ability power, up to 12%. This bonus ability power is lost upon death. Keep that in mind. If it's lost upon death, then it's not permanent. All that work, you know, that you've made to get your character to be Uber can be lost rather quickly. Hammering deals 150% more damage to the first enemy hit. That's kind of nice. Zap, the cooldown for Thunderstorm passive is reduced by 2 seconds. Battle Momentum, basic attacks reduce ability cooldown by 0.5 seconds. Again, if your abilities are coming back faster because your basic attack is reducing the cooldowns, that's always a great thing to have, but keep in mind that you're going to be running out of power a lot more often. So if you're one of the few classes that don't have a problem with power requirements, then I would say go with this. But if you're like everybody else who actually is basically using their abilities sparingly only when they really, really have to because they never have enough power when they want it, then this right here is not going to help you out that much. It's just going to make them come back faster, which you can't even use because you don't have the power to do it. So keep that in mind. Fly Away. The cooldown to flight is reduced by 15 seconds. Boomerang. Reactivate Hammerang mid-flight to deal 25 damage around the hammer. First Aid. Activate to heal 35% of your max health over 6 seconds. Again, these are always great to have if you can heal yourself. You never know when you're going to be stuck out all by yourself, nowhere near a fountain, and need some help. This will actually show up as a little tab right above your 4 abilities that you get to start with, and you can use it on yourself to heal yourself. It's actually really good. I usually get it in almost all my characters. Here's your heroic abilities. Now remember, we'll watch the cooldown. This one happens to be 100 seconds. It can make a very big difference on which one you get. As you can see, we only start with the top one though. After a 1.5 second delay, deal 150 damage to all nearby enemies, stunning them for 1.5 seconds. So as you can see, it takes them a second and a half to actually cast. So if you're getting hit, make sure you keep that in mind, that you're going to have to stand there for a second before you can do it. And people have a chance to run out of range as well. So Shock and Awe, cooldown 90 seconds. After a short delay, deal 200 damage to enemies within a long line. So whereas this one is nearby enemies, so basically a circle around you, the other one is a straight line in front of you. You can also use that on towers and stuff like that, especially if it's a long line like they say it is. Giant Killer. Now this one may not sound like that big of a deal. Basic attacks against enemy heroes deal bonus damage equal to 1.5% of the hero's max health. But what I've actually witnessed, whether they're going to nerf that later on or not, is that getting this makes a significant amount of difference when attacking other heroes. Before attacking a hero, I may lose 3/4 of my life, and he may lose 3/4 of his life, and then we run our separate ways to try to get more life. After you get this, you will notice that you'll lose like 1/4 of your life, and you'll kill him before he even has a chance to run away. As you can see, that is a huge difference in gameplay right there. If you're going to be going towards more heroes, I would definitely suggest getting this. Let's see, Crippling Hammer. Increase the movement speed slow or hammering to 50%. Lightning storm. The thunderstorm passive effect can hit up to 2 targets at once. Rewind. Activate to reduce the cooldown of your basic abilities by 10 seconds. Gust of wind. Reduce activation time for tailwind to 3 seconds. Afterburner. After using barrel roll, gain 75% movement speed. That decreases over 3 seconds. You know, that could come in handy because, like I said, if you use barrel roll, chances are it's to hit either an enemy or a group of enemies that you're running into. And you don't want to really stand there and get hit from all sides. You want to get out and in, or in and out as fast as possible. So having 75% movement speed can help you do that. And you might not die as often when using that, ability. Overdrive. Activate to increase ability power by 25% and mana cost by 40% for 5 seconds. Not really a good thing because you're going to be using so much power, and your ability, I wouldn't do that one. That one just sounds pretty bad to me. Stones can activate to gain 30% of your max health as shields for 5 seconds. Now, as I said many times before, I don't know if they're going to fix this or if it was intended to be that way on purpose, but if you use this when you're full life, you will actually lose 30% of your max health while it takes up the shield, and when the shield is gone, you do not gain that 30% back. You just have to wait until somebody heals you or your life goes back up naturally. So you don't want to cast this on yourself or on others if you happen to have that spell as a healer class. Some of them do, or ones like this, unless people are actually somewhat hurt already. Fury of the Storm. Basic attacks bounce twice to nearby enemies for 50% damage. Bolt of the Storm. Activate to teleport to a nearby location. Now I'm hoping they will change these 2 spells, or talents I should say, because they give these 2 to almost every single class that I've played. They're pretty crappy ones to have. Really the only one I ever use is Fury of the Storm, this one right here. Unless you're not a ranged class, unless you're an assassin kind of class that wants to get in and out of combat fairly quickly without taking hits. This one might come in handy, but usually for those classes you already get an ability like this, so having this one again is pretty worthless. The ones you really want are these 2 down here. These actually augment the ones you get at level 10, your aerial Blitzkrieg and your shock and awe, and you'll see this one will be your aerial one and this one will be your shock and awe, and we'll go over that one. This preparation. Aerial Blitzkrieg costs 50%, cast 50% faster, and grants a shield for 50% of your max health. That's pretty nice right there. Shock and awe has double the range and does 25% more damage. And that one's the one that fired in a straight line. This is the one that fired in an area effect. So a straight line for this one and double the range could come in very handy if you want to sit outside the range of a tower and do some damage to it. Now you got to remember it takes, I think that one was 90 seconds. Yeah, 90 seconds to cast that one and 100 seconds to cast this one. I actually think this one would be far better off than this one. But to each their own. You can try them out and see what you like. If you've played these classes and you have an opinion on it, which one you feel people should be doing or which ones they should stay away from, please, post down in the comments section. I would love to hear you guys' ideas and experiences while playing the game. Also, if you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, or hit me up in game. And thanks again for watching, guys.